The sky darkened, the desert shook. Horus, son of Osiris, had grown strong, swift as the falcon whose form he bore. He no longer hid in the marshes. He stepped into the open, calling out his father's murderer. Set, Lord of Storms, answered with a roar that split the earth. His laughter rolled like thunder across the sands. He had drowned Osiris. He had hacked his body into pieces. And now he dared Horus to try and take the throne. The two met upon the banks of the Nile. Horus's eyes blazed like the rising sun. Set's skin burned red as the desert dusk. Their first clash tore the silence apart. Horus struck swift and sharp, wings cutting the air like blades. Set swung heavy and wild, his fists like crashing boulders. The Nile itself surged in terror. Crocodiles fled, reeds bent low, and the sky echoed with their fury. Blow after blow, they battled, neither yielding. At last, with a strike as quick as lightning, Horus pierced Set's eye. The storm god howled, blood spilling into the sand. But Set was not broken. With a roar, he struck back, rending one of Horus's eyes in return. Father against son, brother against brother, and the cycle of violence dragged the world into chaos. The gods who watched grew uneasy. Ra himself looked down from the heavens, weary of the endless strife. For years, not days, not months, but years, Horus and Set would clash. Battles on land, duels on the Nile, even transformations into beasts. Each time the balance tipped, then tipped back again. The throne of Egypt hung in the balance. Justice clashed with chaos, falcon against storm. And so the war began. Not a single battle, but an age of fury that would test the will of gods and shake the order of the cosmos. Next time, Horus and Set take their feud before the divine court, the Ennead itself, and the gods must decide who is worthy to rule. Follow, like, share, and subscribe, because the judgment of the gods is coming.
The war raged for years, blades clashed, storms broke, rivers turned red with the fury of gods, yet still, no victor rose. At last, the weary heavens demanded order. The Ennead, the great council of gods, gathered in Heliopolis. Ra, the sun god, presided, his gaze heavy with age and fire. Beside him sat Thoth, keeper of wisdom, pen poised to record the fate of Egypt. Around them, the gods filled the chamber. Isis, fierce and unyielding. Nephthys, silent and sorrowful. And even Set, glaring with defiance. The throne of Osiris stood empty, waiting. Who would claim it? Horus, son of the murdered king? Or Set, the usurper who held it by force? The arguments began. Set rose first, voice booming like thunder. I am the stronger. The desert bends to my will. The storms obey my hand. Egypt needs a ruler of power, not a child clinging to his mother's shadow. Then Horus stood, tall as the falcon in flight. His words burned with justice. I am the rightful heir. Osiris was my father, murdered by the one who now dares to call himself king. Egypt does not need fear. Egypt needs balance, the court murmured. Isis leaned forward, her eyes sharp as knives. With every word she spoke, she pierced Set's lies, weaving arguments as deftly as her spells. Again and again, she cornered him, until Set's anger boiled over, and he roared before the gods. But Ra hesitated. He remembered Set's strength. He remembered how often the red god had stood against the enemies of Ra's solar boat, how he had fought the serpent Apophis in the night sky. Could Egypt survive without that power? So the trial stretched on, days into nights, nights into years. Each god weighed the truth. Each god felt the pull of fear and loyalty. And still, the throne of Osiris remained empty. The Ennead could not yet decide, but Isis would not rest. And in secret, she began to weave a plan that would tip the scales once and for all. Follow, like, share, and subscribe, because Isis's cunning is about to change everything.